Finally, I'm back home. I don't feel too well. I need to rest. What you watching on the TV?
The sports.
Oh. What the hell? Remote's not working.
People of New York, I am not your enemy. I'm your savior. I'm your protector, and I do not wish to harm any of you. But unfortunately, I need something, and I can't let anyone stand in my way.
City police responding to an explosion in Midtown Manhattan near the Port Authority bus terminal. NBC News researcher Christian Santana is at the scene, joins us by the phone.
Oh no. Dad works there. Come on. Dad? Dad? Are you okay? Okay. You gotta get out of there. Quickly. Dad? Dad?
That's how it started. All of it. It started with a bang. For the next few weeks, I mourned my father. It was hard to deal with his loss. But one day, I met a man, a hooded figure. He called himself the Groundwolfe and told me that he could help me unlock a part of myself, or something like that. He told me this tradition was passed down for generations. So I listened.
You were chosen to get a gift of power. You were chosen for your heart and your wisdom.
Me? Worthy? Yeah, I think you got the wrong guy.
You were chosen to save the world, to bring balance when it is needed the most.
Okay, whatever you say. Where do I go to receive this
The
gift?
answers you seek are in the temple. There, you will receive a gift. Be careful. I sense darkness within you. You must resist. Never let it control you.
After that day, everything changed, and I didn't even know it yet. You see, I thought Groundwolfe was bullshitting me, because I didn't feel any different. I didn't seem to have any new abilities, like he said. But eventually,
What?
I figured that with my new powers, I could avenge my father's death and track down his killer. But I realized my father wasn't the only one to die that day. There were others who fell with him. So I'd avenge them too. I decided to become a symbol of hope. A symbol of justice. A symbol for all mankind. Perfect.
Look at them out there. So sad. They live their everyday lives, normally, peacefully, not knowing that in a couple of years their world will change forever.
The first phase of my plan has gone well. Unbeknownst to the public, the FBI were stationed in Port Authority. They were attempting to track me. I couldn't allow that to happen, though I do share remorse, and I have regret over my actions. I did not want it to come to that. I feel terrible for the families that those agents had left behind. But now isn't the time to mourn. Now is the time to rise, to be better. I'm going to show the city a better future, a better world.
Okay, how do I do this? Come on, Aiden, take deep breaths. You can do this. You can do this. Let's see how much information I can find on this guy. Alright, there we go. Finally, some information. If I triangulate all the known bombings that this terrorist has committed, maybe I could find his hideout and shut him down once and for all. Bingo. So if the bombs were here and here and here, then most likely location.
Dale, I've been breached. The BucketMan, I presume.
How do you know who I am?
Well, I figured you'd choose that name, considering the costume that you wear.
Well, that is true.
What are you doing here? You weren't supposed to be here.
I'm here to stop you from hurting more people. I think that speaks for itself.
You really believe that you can defeat me? It is almost admirable. A mere child, pretending that he can be a man.
I was chosen to be protector. If I have to fight you to bring you to justice, I will.
Your foolishness has no limits, does it? I bet your brother would be pretty disappointed if you weren't coming home, especially after what happened with your father. Ooh, the rage that you have makes you feel powerful, doesn't it? But you should know in reality, you are nothing but a weakling compared.
I believe this was a long reach. You're more of an imbecile than I took you for. How do you know these things about me? I'm you. Now that introductions are done. No. This isn't possible. How?
I'm you from the future. In my time, the world has fallen into chaos and despair. I decided to go back into the past,
You killed
correct this flaw in the time stream.
all those people. I killed them.
Small price for the survival of billions.
This can't be real.
Oh, but it is. You see, everything you know, everything you love will cease to exist. I personally wasn't planning on running into you, should I call you my former self? But since I have, I shall give you an offer to join me on my quest. To save lives. To save the future.
I don't want any part in any of your twisted philosophy. Besides, I already foiled your plan. Your explosives are kaput.
My plan? Did you really think my plan was to blow up a few buildings? No, it's actually much simpler than that. You see, in the future, technology turns against us. We face a war against the machines. And because of this, 6 billion people die. I decided to correct this flaw by going back in the past, disabling electronics, disabling devices using EMP.
Then why did you kill people?
I had to. Some people will not be able to survive the process. The EMP devices are very strong. A small sacrifice to save billions.
How much destruction are you planning to cause?
Well, the destruction is irrelevant. It's the people that matter. And I'm saving them. Saving them from a horrible death.
That doesn't even make sense.
Oh, but it will. And trust me when I say that nothing will stop me from achieving this goal. It has to be done. But I can't have you interfering anymore. So for now...
How am I supposed to fight myself? He knows everything about me. He knows everything. I can't just...
were chosen to get a gift of power. You were chosen for your heart and your wisdom. You were chosen to save the world, to bring balance when it is needed the most.
Oh there. What's going on? Officers, get back. I'll handle this.
I have to hurry before he can hurt anyone else.
I never wanted it to be like this. Wanted everyone to have a fighting chance. But we can't all have that luxury, I guess. Some of us were just not meant to survive.
Man, you're depressing. You ever considered therapy? You know, I know a great therapist around the corner. Oh wait, you blew that one up too.
Ah, the BucketMan. I see you upgraded your costume.
Well, I figured that red and black wasn't really my thing.
I don't have time for this.
Yeah, me neither. So, why don't we end this peacefully, like normal people should, and call it a day?
Your sense of humor will be your downfall.
Stop this. Stop playing God.
I'm not playing God. I'm preventing the devil.
Look in the mirror. The devil is what you've become. Don't you see? This is pointless.
Years ago, they called me the BucketMan. And now, I'm just a tortured soul. Now I have to go. But before you think of trying to stop me, be aware that there are many hidden bombs near this area that I've planted. And many innocent lives will be caught in the crossfire. The people are all that matter. So save them, hero.
Hey, where are you going? For God's sake, this job is not easy. I gotta get out of here. Whoa! Everyone, clear out! My future self. Well, he's always there at the wrong time. What was he doing in a restaurant? I mean, why was he burning down a restaurant of all places? Kind of odd place to choose to start a fire. But that's just my opinion. I wonder what he could have wanted. But I feel like that if he wanted something from there, then he got it, whatever it was.
There's a reason I grabbed you from the restaurant in the city.
Do what you want to me, I'm not gonna talk.
Oh, I think you will.
Your father, he had very high connections. I believe that he knows the code to a storage facility in Pennsylvania, which holds EMP devices.
Can make all your troubles go away in an instant.
I told you I'm not talking.
Well then, I guess we're gonna be here a while arguing.
You know, you're some kind of psycho.
It's funny how that works. I have more vision than you do, but yet you deem me as insane. Typical of people who are afraid of change, afraid of the future.
Future? What future?
Your future. In a few years' time, an apocalypse will come, killing billions.
What you're saying makes no sense. How would you even know about the future?
Because
it, I can still remember the screams, the pain, my failure. Back then, they called me the BucketMan. But I failed all those lives. And I realized that my heroism was a joke from the beginning. 6 billion people died that day. I vowed to avenge them. So I went back in the past. And that's why I'm here. To prevent the future that's coming. The apocalypse. The end of all things. The end of days. That is why I'm here. And that is why it is necessary to sacrifice a few people for the lives of 6 billion. Why are you telling me this? Because I need your help. You see, the events in the future that occur, they can all be prevented. If some are sacrificed. Some people, that is. To do this, I'm going to need access to the EMP devices in a storage facility in Pennsylvania.
Look, man, I told you I wasn't gonna talk, and there's no way some made-up story is going to change my mind.
Made up. Made up. I'm not making this up.
Everything is at stake. I lost so much. And I won't let that future come to pass, no matter who gets in my way. But if you really feel like staying silent, then I'll have no choice but to urge you to reconsider. Sometimes we all need a little bit of a push in the right direction, no matter how small, no matter how weak. I don't want this. You've given me no choice. You've decided to remain silent, uncooperative, and that gives me frustration. Frustration that I don't need. Frustration that nobody needs. You feel that pain? That's what you're doing to me. By not giving me the info I need. In fact, it's a little more painful than that. In fact, I think you deserve a little, shall I say, fairer treatment. You ready to give it up? No. I thought you said that. That's why I have a little more activities in store. Get comfortable, if you can. The end will come, and it will be your fault.
Don't you see? I'm your antithesis. I'm your Antinum. Poetic, isn't it? That you would die by your own hand. You would suffer for eternity.
Again. What could these dreams mean? They've been happening more and more frequently. I feel like someone's trying to tell me something.
Are you alright, Aiden?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Dare try to escape this place.
Temper, temper. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that you were trying to escape. But what you don't realize is that under my watch, you can never escape.
You're under my watch, which means I wouldn't care if you had a wife. I wouldn't care if you had 2 daughters. You're just a guy, a man, that I need to complete my work. The only reason you're alive right now is because you are of use, not because I value you as a person. Well played.
I'll admit, kid, you have guts, you have a heart.
But at what cost? Your effort failed. And now, you must be punished for your insolence.
Finally, I can use these EMP missiles to short out New York City, preventing the machines from taking over. Of course, this will destroy any electronic devices that are in the city at the moment, but small price to pay for the survival of billions, as I like to say. I will end my pain. I will stop my suffering. I will bring a better future into the light. I will make sure that everyone I knew will live to see another day. I will fight for their survival. I will fight to ensure they're safe. I'll fight for what I believe is right. There's only one man who can stand in my way. My former self, the BucketMan. But my former self was never without weakness. Back in the day, I was cunning, yes, but I wasn't fearless. In fact, I was quite fearful. Fear is what I can use to my advantage. Fear is what will drive him to realize that I am right, that my path is the correct path. After all, what more do I have to lose?
The answers you seek are there. Live agony. Be careful. Use for your power.
Groundwolfe.
Dude, get up. This is a rescue, come on. Please don't hurt me!
I already gave you what you want.
Don't worry. I'm not him. Get up now.
Here. You got to or something?
Something like that.
I can't walk that far. Call an ambulance.
Okay. Let's get you back in the chair, I guess. What did he want from you?
He wanted me to give him the access code to the EMP missiles in a storage facility. Missiles capable of shorting out an entire city.
And where is he exactly?
In Pennsylvania.
Alright. Wait! What are you gonna do? I'm gonna suit up.
Be careful. The battle. Bring balance.
Well. You wouldn't really hurt yourself, would you? Depends on whether or not I'm attempting to kill thousands. No, you don't understand. These people will be responsible for the first wave of destruction. Why can't you find a less lethal solution?
I can't believe I was ever that naive.
There is no other way. It's funny. We're the same person, but at two different points in a lifetime. You're young. You're naive. You make mistakes. That can be forgiven. But what cannot be forgiven, what cannot be overlooked, is your arrogance. You have this idea that you know everything that will come and everything that is to be. But in reality, you know absolutely nothing about how the world works. You're right. This fight isn't about hero and villain. This is about two people that share the same identity, fighting for different causes, fighting for what they both believe is right. You see what I mean? Two sides, same coin. This is wrong. I once thought as you do. Thinking like that is why I failed the mission. But it was changing my tactics that led me here. Led me to be my own antithesis. To be my own antonym. We don't need to be enemies. The same people you care about are the same ones that I did. And they were all killed in the future. I don't understand. Who would do such a thing? In the future, we faced a threat. A threat that was Bigger than anything we've ever faced. There was a man, a cyborg. He called himself Roboto Scythe. Roboto Scythe sought peace and order for the world. He sought an end to corruption, to greed, to war. And his solution was to rule over the entire planet. Roboto Scythe had an army of machines at his disposal, coming from New York City. At the time, I had a group of friends, a group of teammates. We were a team. We fought battles together. Fought battles that no single man could stand up against. But on one day, when Roboto Scythe attacked, it was bigger than anything that we've ever faced. We tried to stop him, but he was too powerful. He was too strong. Most of my team perished on that day. The battle was so intense, it wiped out 6 billion people, leaving only 1 billion left to scrounge on the scraps. Roboto Scythe reigned supreme. I attempted to lead a resistance against him, but I failed in that as well. Almost everyone I cared about died in the following years. Slowly.
Everyone, I feel sorry for you. Because you will know the meaning of fear, just like I once did. The meaning of pain, suffering. You will experience all that, just like I did. Your mind isn't open to the possibility of losing everything you know and everyone you love. The idea of it is too scary for you to comprehend, but it is the truth. In the end, you will know the meaning of fear. You will go through this suffering like I did.
Many people's lives depend on technology. There's some people in hospitals that depend on technology to survive, life support systems. They need it to stay functioning. While others, they could be in a car, a moving vehicle, and if you activate one of these devices, they could crash and die. Don't you see? You're doing more harm than good. I have to stop you.
If I have to fight my former self in order to save the world, I will. So be it.
I have to shut down those electric generators. They're gonna power the EMP devices that will send New York into the Dark Ages.
I was meant to save the world. The BucketMan was meant to save the world. Groundwolfe taught us that. Maybe he wasn't so wrong after all. Maybe he had a point. Groundwolfe had a point. This is what he meant. We were destined to save lives. We were chosen to save the world. Chosen to lead. There's one. There, fried. We have power that nobody else has. We can use it to save the day. You forget that I have your power. I know you're around here somewhere. Bingo.
Oh crap.
There's one more to go, come on. Our minds are connected. Our spirit deepened. It is futile to resist. Groundwolfe was right. I know that you're in here somewhere.
The last one is hidden in these bushes. Not really a good hiding place in my personal opinion.
No matter what happens, you will end as I began. A broken soul, tormented by the loss of loved ones, haunted by the mistakes left behind.
That's it. That's every one of them.
There you are.
The people are all that matter. Never forget that. I suppose my destiny wasn't to save the world, but maybe it is yours. Do right by my wrong. Save them. Protect them.
I will.
I was just trying to save.
Don't you worry.
To prevent the future. The people are all that matter. And so, a chapter in the story of my life was finally closed, and the rest was history. My future self may have been crazy, but he made me realize something. That you should never forget the past. You use your experiences from it and integrate it into your future. We were both the same person, but at two different periods in a lifetime. And even though we never saw eye to eye, he was right about one thing. He was my antithesis. He was my antonym. The city is safe for now, and the people are safe, but I don't know how long that will last. I was thinking about retiring from the whole superhero thing, but then I remembered what Groundwolfe said, that I was chosen to save the world, to bring balance when it was needed the most. After all, Antinum said there was an apocalypse coming, and somebody there has to be there to stop it. Somebody has to be there to protect the people, because the people are all that matter. So I'm their protector. I'm their savior. I'm their last line of defense. I am the BucketMan.
Heroes. There really is no such thing. Just people with different perspectives, who are different in general. Someone whom everyone wants to be. Humanity is deeply flawed. On the surface, you see potential, you see greatness. But once you really get to know them, you start to realize they're flawed. You start to realize how dangerous and violent they truly are. Which is why humanity needs to be cleansed. It needs to be scrubbed of the filth they carry. And somebody has to do that. And that somebody will be me.